There's always a difference in product quality between micro and big brands, true or not? I think no. All a brand needs is brain, effort, money and the willingness to take care of aspects you see only with a magnifier. At least that was my impression when Tom, the owner of Lebois, visited me this week here in Hamburg, Germany with a suitcase full of watches to show me some really interesting and beautiful pieces, but then something went wrong. Welcome to Caseback Watches. My name is Tim and I'm pretty flattered that somebody like Tom visits me here in my hometown Hamburg. As said, in Germany. He comes from the Netherlands where Lebois is located. And Lebois, you might know, is a historic brand revived and is part of a, let's say, group. And one of the watches they put out last year was the Airain Type 20, which I was in love with. Such a great watch, such attention to detail. And so I was very pleased that Tom asked me for an hour in a cafe, and he brought our main topic was the Heritage Chronograph, because Lebois is presenting right now the first prototypes of the Lebois Heritage Chronograph, and the role model for this watch was a 40s chrono. 40s chrono, you know, these big vintage chronos with many scales on the dial, so very busy and yeah, fascinating in a way. And I had a few vintage pieces and I loved them. And now they're bringing back this piece, a bit of a collaboration with watch fans, with fans of the brand, so people could vote for certain aspects, not the entire design, of course, certain aspects. And so I was very happy. And Tom grabbed into the suitcase and put on the table 4 prototypes. And I was like, wow! What's that? What's that? Amazing view. I mean, look at these images here and look at this one. This is a watch he made for a certain client, a shop in, when I recall correctly, Kuwait. Only a few pieces with Arabic numerals. So nice, so beautiful. And then I was really flashed and I told him, all right, let's bring these prototypes on the channel this Friday. And he freezed and said, what, this Friday? Are you sure? Are you certain? And I said, why not? And he said, unfortunately, I have contracts with other people and we have still an embargo. You would be the first and only YouTube channel with these watches on air. And this is puts me in an awkward position. Okay, guys, we have a little situation here. I'm sitting here with Tom from Lebois. Say hello, Tom. We're in Hamburg.
Hi.
We met for a chat, some coffee and talking watches, and what we have here are 4 prototypes, and my plan was to present you these prototypes in the next video, and now Tom said, oh no, this is too early, they're not. And then of course I tried to talk him into this Friday. Sometimes this works, but he felt visibly highly uncomfortable with that, and so I said, all right, then we have to reschedule this. And I thought, oh, shit, new topic for this Friday, how can I do this? And then I saw his watch. Wait a second, what do you have on the wrist there? And he said, well, this is the Airain Type 20, you know, but this is the limited edition. It was very popular, it's sold out now. And I thought, all right, I didn't have this on the channel. I mean, it's sold out, but still a very interesting watch. And this is still around on the used market. Give me that watch. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay. And then it happens to be that in his suitcase, he had on his wrist, he had the green one and the brown one in the suitcase. And so I thought, wow, this is a sight. Let's bring these watches on the channel and then the Lebois Heritage Chrono 2 weeks after that. And so in this video, I like to demonstrate quality and attention to detail with this Airain Limited Type 20 watches. And before we go on the lightbox, let me explain what I've really learned during that conversation with Tom. I said in the intro, you need brain, but you also need money when you make micro brand and the willingness to take care of every aspect the professional way. And he explained me that's exactly what he did. He collected funds to recreate the brand Lebois. He hired a professional designer in Switzerland so that everything you see on the watch is, of course, a decision from Tom and his team, but is executed by a professional designer. And I think this is very valuable because sometimes you have these micro brands and you see the idea is nice, but the execution is poorly made. and this is completely different, or manufacturing in Switzerland, so that every decision from his head is executed the most professional way. And you really see this, and it's important because these watches are expensive. The Type 20 limited edition was retailed at, I think, 3,000 euros. And so you really want something for that kind of money. But I think it's absolutely worth it. And I will show you why now. Let's go over the measurements, and then I will explain why this edition is special. So measurements here are 39.5 millimeters is the case diameter. The length overall is 48 or 47.7 to be precise. Height 15.5, looks a bit bigger here because of that NATO strap, and lug width is 20. We have here a plexi. Maybe you can hear this. Sometimes you really hear the difference. Plexi, sapphire like that. And inside we have a very nice column wheel chronograph caliber AM1 with flyback complication, 60-hour power reserve, just crazy, made by La Perret in Switzerland. I just love it, and I will. The winding action is just nice. And the watch is waterproof up to 50 meters. Not much. We've seen better, but it's absolutely in order for this genre. I mean, a pilot's watch, right? You don't want to use this in the water. And the specialty here, of course, is the flyback complication. Let's give it a little power. Just this is just a nice feeling. These are really cool movements. Top-notch, high quality. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the movement because solid case back here. But now it has a bit of power. And now you start the chronograph with a regular pusher. And now you can reset it like this. See this? And then it starts again. So if you imagine yourself as a pilot, you pass one waypoint, and then you have 10 seconds to the next waypoint, you can make just this. And it starts again. And so this is a pretty tricky complication. It needs some finesse in watchmaking, and it's just nice to have. The layout is very classy. You have here a 30-minute counter, and here you have the seconds. So this is not very advanced, but functional, right? Very functional. And what I also like, you find this also on Hanhart watches, for example, the zero-click bezel. So you don't have any form of click. You can just manipulate it in both directions. And it's hard to make. And Tom confirmed, this was a theory by me. I thought this is hard to make because you have to match the exact point between loose and too stiff to operate it. And he confirmed this is pretty hard. It's pretty hard to make, but here it definitely worked. So very nice. And the same features, same layout you find here, although the subdials here on the brown version, I hope you can see this, they're a bit glossy. Or am I misled here? But I think they're a bit more dominant. And the colors here are the reason for the limited edition, of course. You have here a green and a brown. And what I extremely like, that they didn't choose a, let's say, grass green, like the grass in a Disney movie, for example, and here a brown like a chocolate bar. These are really colors you may find in nature, because Tom told me if you look in nature and you see trees and many plants, then you often find a more subtle green, maybe with some blue in it, with some brown in it, rather a mixed, dampened tone and not this scream in color. And this you have here. And I think the benefit here is that you are not in danger that you cannot see anymore your watch after a couple of weeks, that you're just tired to see the color. I think this cannot happen. And I wasn't thinking all the time, oh, green watch, brown watch, brown watch. It was just an organic look on the wrist, organic feel. And so I'm a big fan of these two watches, I must say. As said, this is not a commercial, not longer available, but who knows? Used market, guys, used market. And I think you can make some bargains with these watches. He told me some are left in Kuwait, but trip to Kuwait, at least from my perspective, this is hard task. And I presented this watch here on Instagram. I was wearing it, and I took an image on the desk. And with Tintin in the background, and Glenn commented, this is definitely a watch Tintin would wear, and I fully agree because it's functional, it's cool, it has some references to other countries, in this case France and the French military, and there's so much. I mean, this is the perfect comic watch, Glenn, you're right. Perfect comic watch for action heroes and Franco-Belgian comic books. My God, this is a new aspect. Glenn, I love you. This is such a great idea. And here you have the brown one, the brown Type 20 together. Let me rearrange the jacket together with brown corduroy. What a match, what a match. So very nice. Very nice look, unedited images under broad daylight. Alright, welcome back, and if you want to see more of these reviews and watch of the week, then come back every Monday and every Friday, or subscribe to the channel so that you get your notification. And as said, the Lebois Heritage Chronograph will online here in October, okay? This is the plan. And now I received some interesting images from viewers, as always, and let me show you this. This one here is from Jason. And he writes, I thought I'd share with you a pic I snapped from the Sonoran Desert in Arizona, United States, featuring both the iconic saguaro cactus and my Merle's 528 in graphite, sporting a custom V-green crocodile leather strap made to fit my 22 centimeter wrist. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for the tip on this extraordinary watch. It becomes my go-to dress watch. Thank you very much, Jason. You have quite a wrist there, 22 centimeter. I mean, compare my wrist shot with the Merle's and his wrist shot with the Merle's. This really demonstrates that this debate, size, what's the perfect watch size, is senseless, ladies and gentlemen. We all have our favorite size, and we enjoy it. And the next image comes from Fergal. I'm a great follower of your YouTube and Instagram work and greatly value your independence, integrity, and aesthetically good taste generally. Wow, thank you very much. I have to show this to la madame. My good taste generally is sometimes a matter of debate, but let's carry on here. And Fergal writes, I attach a couple of photos of my Tudor Black Bay 58 navy blue and my Oleg & Weiss C1000, two divers that I love dearly. I must say the Wallace & Wallace is wonderful, and I appreciate having the brand as my secret, but the brand and the C1000 certainly deserve wider exposure and recognition. Yeah, interesting hint. I will check this brand out. I'm not even sure that I pronounced the name correctly. Ollie & Weiss, is that correct? I'm not sure. The last image comes from Eugene without any words, and what you see here is a Oris with a moon face, with a calendar and moon face. And I think these watches come from the early 90s. This was the time when Oris really presented classy designs. Their, let's say, dress watches or shinier pieces are a bit brutalistic nowadays. And so if you're looking for a tank with something going on the dial with that moon face, these watches are not super pricey. You find them used, often in good condition, often with a very reasonable price tag, and then they're hassle-free. There's an EDA inside. Every watchmaker can service that thing. And so, Eugene, thank you very much. And dear viewer, if you want to submit an image here, feel free to use caseback@icloud.com, and it would be really nice when you include a bit of your hometown or a nice site, what you really enjoy together with a watch, so that we really have something to see and to talk about. This would be very nice. And people continue to send me images with my own straps on their watches from casebackwatches.com. Makes me smile every time I see this. Thank you very much. And the strap number 1 and number 2, they're really international hits now. And I've improved the shop a bit to make it even easier. You, of course, can change to English. This is normal, standard, but you can change to your currency. And so you could sit in, let's say, Singapore, and buy yourself a nice strap made in Germany, and it's absolutely easy and absolutely no problem. Shipping is really affordable. To Singapore, to Australia will set you back about 6 euros, that's it, not more. And so if you'd like to purchase a nice strap for yourself, then check out casebackwatches.com. Okay, and now we're at the end of this video. As always, if you'd like to have your sneak previews, then join me on Instagram, caseback_Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your participation and your attention, and until next time. Watch game also means that sometimes you have to show some flexibility, and so yeah, as said, October.